Nigeria. But is that
not
really
the exact words, but I'm
is that really what happened? Is that really what happened? Because if even at that time, if subsidy was removed, what would have been the effect on the masses of Nigerians too?
I need to turn to you.
Well,
what do you make of it?
if subsidy was removed, then the effect would not have been this, harsh on Nigerians, because the exchange rate and other factors contributed to the impact of the subsidy removal at this period. What jumped at me from his speech was that he felt our pain, and I said I really, really doubt if he feels our pain. Mr. President has been known to say to he knows how to say the right words, and I must commend him for that. But do we see actions that are commensurate with the words spoken? I put a big question mark before that. I'm not talking about when he became president alone, but when he was even the leader of the opposition, because if you're talking about democracy, now there's no how we can talk about the history of democracy in Nigeria that will not mention President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Whether you love him or not is a fact. But what is playing out in Lagos State in the last election, and some things that we are seeing in our present democratic dispensation, are they in tandem with what he has said? That's what I'm talking about. That in what ways has he been demonstrating that, look, democracy is really very, very important? I commend his speech, in its,
In the letter.
in the letter.
But the spirit of it.
But I'm talking about the spirit of it and the demonstration. We need to see more demonstration and more commitment to democratic reforms that will give us the kind of posterity and prosperity that we desire in this country. But I've not seen that yet. All the indications we are seeing now on the field, politically, still shows that the winner gets it all, and they want to sit tight, in government, and that shouldn't be. Nigerians should have the freedom to express, the choice they want in leadership, and there should be reforms. All these, vote buying and other things. There is nothing that prevents us from having fully automated and electronic voting, through BVN and other synchronization of our data. That way the fewer human interference in our voting, the more credible the elections will be. But I know that they know the technology, they know the ways. But because the average Nigerian, I'm not exempting anyone, even myself, if they want to remain, tight in office, on the seat, so they are not liberalizing the democratic process to give us a credible election that is really, really representative of the desire of the people. We need that in Nigeria.
You seem to be taking the words out of the mouth of Nadeko, for instance, because Nadeko and of course the PDP are saying accusing the APC government of desecrating Abiola's legacy, part of which, of course, Nadeko is saying has to do with the election, the 2023 election. They faulted the electoral process and all of that, and part of which would they consider to be desecrating the Abiola, what's called now, the Abiola legacy. It also talks about the administration of Tinubu lacking coordination and cohesion. In addition, it's also saying it's plagued by inefficiency, anti-people policies, corruption, and godfatherism, political patronage, and on and on. What do you make of the reaction of Nadeko to this, understanding the role Nadeko played in that in 1993 and towards the birth of our democracy?
Well, don't forget that Tinubu too was part of the Nadeko.
Indeed.
Yeah, and in this speech he also talked about we've only have a political democracy. We've not have economic democracy, which is the economic emancipation of the country. And that is where the problem lies now. Because if any country has a political democracy and there is no economic democracy, then the country is at nowhere.
Well, what does economic democracy mean?
You see,
real quick.
When a country is able to go to the polls, people vote and they have a winner. But then when the country is still in the trenches, when the economy is not booming, when businesses are not growing, when there are no industry in your land, when there is no prosperity, people cannot live a good life. There is a drop in the standard of living. There is a drop, everything So that shows that the country is not moving forward.
All right.
So that is he acknowledged that in that speech, and I really believe that, like my friend here said, he need to walk the talk.
Let's take your reactions. 0909 1111 059 080 7777 1059. Good morning.